Hello and welcome to another episode of Run Steve Run, series in which I try to run further and faster than ever before. In particular, most recently I've been trying to beat Scott Hare's all-time family park run records. So let's have a look at that leaderboard. Oh, look at this, shiny new graphics for the channel. Somebody's been working hard in the background, and that should clearly illustrate now that Scott has got the volume of the park run records. Right at the top in green there though, you've got Alan the Bullet here. That's my uncle. He has now hung up his running shoes. However, in his day, he was rapid. We will be working towards his 20-minute times in the future. Not just now. Just now, I'm going to work in Scott's Tollcross Parkrun record. Obviously, Pleen is still the slowest parkrun, but I couldn't be asked going last week, and I can't be asked going this week because it's like an hour away. It's up near Falkirk, Stirling kind of area. I'm away down in Ayrshire, so I can't be bothered. This week, my targets are going to be to obviously beat Scott's record there in the 27 minutes for Tollcross, but also I've really been trying hard to go sub 25. As you can see, I've done a 21.50 at Strathclyde Park, which is a bit short to be fair, but I have got some fast times. I'm going to try to go sub 25 today in these conditions. Let's see what we can do. Here we go. As we kick off, I'm going to introduce some new technology, which is telling you what position I'm in. So not only have we got some new graphics, we've got some brand new on-screen technology. Starting off the race in a good position. The best I've ever finished at Parkrun is 18th. I think Scott has finished 14th, but I'm on track to beat that if I can hang on to where I'm at just now. In front of me there is a Loch Ness Marathon finisher t-shirt just off to the right. We could have ran as a wee pack if it wasn't for the fact that he just left me in his dust as he's off into the distance. And somebody else knocks me down another position. As we come round the corner to the biggest puddle in the course and I make a big noise. You know, excited there as I run through. I do really like running in the rain. Right, like running through puddles and just getting stuck in. Unfortunately, it did push out the last bit of oxygen I had in my lungs before I hit my arch nemesis, the dreaded uphill. Therefore, folk start immediately going past me and I'm losing more positions. Let's go up the hill and see the wind that's at the top waiting for me. As you can hear, the wind is absolutely howling as predicted, and it hit me right in the face as I got up here. I was very glad to see this big fella, Josh, as he runs past me. He must be 6'3", 6'4", he was a fair size of a guy, so I just tucked right in behind him, hiding for the wind, hoping to shelter, conserve some energy, and then later on I'll try to get my big boy pants on and actually run the race on my own, but just now I don't want to do anything silly. First couple of kilometres in any race, particularly a 5k, just settle in, see how you're feeling. Maybe the last kilometre, if you're feeling good, push on. If you're not feeling good, just hang on. And we're now through the worst of the wind. This guy obviously thinks so as he comes round the outside, taking up a position, knocking me down one, and he's got a pal behind him that's also going to come through. I see the two guys go and I realise the wind's dying down. We've got a downhill coming up, and I decide that I'm going to go as well in a wee bit. Just take a wee minute to take some inspiration. Thank you very much, Josh, for your services, but they will not be required any further. I'm just going to move past you, look for a wee gap. There we go. I'm going to follow these two guys down the hill towards the end of the first kilometre. And as we come down this hill, we can see the building on the right has been decorated lovely by the local youths, who've no doubt given up time from their busy schedule, feeding the homeless and volunteering for the elderly to get that artwork done. This guy in the grey comes past me at the bottom of the hill, and he actually overtook me on the downhill, so when we hit the uphill, he will no doubt tear away from me as we reach the end of the first kilometre in 4 minutes and 51 seconds. I get to show you my new graphics for that as well. And that shows that we are ahead of schedule just by a few seconds for the sub 25 pace. Way ahead of schedule to beat the record that Scott set. And given the wind and the hills and the big puddle I had to run through, it's no bad going. In fact, it's absolutely bang on pace for what I need to be to get that sub 25. Gives me a wee bit extra leeway. But I'm just going to try to maintain that now. And who's this coming through? Just as I was starting to celebrate a small victory of being on pace, Josh is here to show me who's boss. Well, Josh dominates me. I'd just like to say, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button or the like button, that helps me. Up to a massive 21 subscribers now, but I think we can get even better than that. So if you could, it'd be very much obliged. I'm not going to let Josh go for too long. We've hit a small downhill. We all know what that means. I'm going to hit the jets and get back past him. And although it will take me up a position in the race, I don't think I'm going to be able to beat my all-time best of 17th today. But everything else is still up for grabs. And this is now coming up to the end of the first loop, so 2 kilometres nearly done. I'm going to update you on my 2 kilometre a wee bit early because I've got some pish to say on the way past the start line. So I did that second kilometre in 4 minutes and 40, so a really good time there. Very happy with how I'm going so far, and actually still feeling not too bad given the conditions. Now as I come around the corner here, as you can see there's loads of cones and a big shiny arrow telling me where to go. I had ignored that, tried to run the wrong way, and these two fine gentlemen,
Thank God you were here.
thankfully were standing there to put me back on track. Don't know what happened there, a complete lapse. And we're going to come back past the start line and past the race director. And I'll have to give the race director, you'll see her in the blue here, a special mention. Now she's there. I turned up to Parkrun.
Thank you.
45 minutes early to take some pictures and get some extra shots of the buildings and things around the park, and I stood and talked to her about what I was doing. She was collecting for the food bank today. She was also up, helping folk live their best lives by directing the race today. And I have to say, bit of a fox for an older lady as well. And I thought, she's good looking, she's generous, she's kind, she's considerate, she's organised. If I wasn't married, I would absolutely smash down the barriers of age discrimination and politely ask her out for a coffee. And as I'm now on to my second lap, you'll recognise that this is where we come along, turn right, and we're going to go through the big puddle. Wonderful shouting, dead clever as I go through it.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a wee peek back here, and I can see, lo and behold, the big man's still hot at my heels. Let's see what I shout at the
On
puddle.
the puddles!
Well done. I'm on the puddles. I'm just absolutely loving it today. When it's a rainy day like this, there's no point in trying to avoid the puddles. You've just got to embrace it. There's an uphill though, I don't tend to embrace them. It's more like survival. Wait and see how many people manage to get past me in the hill this time before I get smacked in the face by the 60-mile-an-hour gusts at the top. And as I reach the top of the hill, it is only one person that's went past me. And as soon as I get to the top of the hill, I realise that wind is blowing again, so I just tuck in behind this fella. He's not quite got the stature that Josh has got, but he is about the same size as me, so he'll do fine for a windbreak as we run round the windy part of the course. And for that third kilometre, I've really just tagged along behind this fella here. As we're going to hit the uphill, he continues to motor on. I have not got the stamina anymore, so he is going to drift away from me up this hill. But that does take me to the end of the third kilometre, which I did in 4 minutes and 58 seconds. Very happy with that. That was possibly the hardest kilometre in the race, given the amount of wind when I hit the top of the hill. I didn't have much of a windbreak. I didn't have a sniff of the finish. But then I see on my left hand side here an absolute champ coming through. You can see with that t-shirt a triple crown. She's finished at least 3 serious races. So now I have somebody else to hang on to as we get to the top of the hill here. Just kind of try and track her for a wee while. Hopefully she can drag me along to my own victory today. A wee update as we go around here. I have just signed up for my first race of next year, which is the beginning of February. I'll be running the Kirkintilloch 12.5k. It somewhat differs from my goal of a sub 25k. I'm hoping by that time I might have gone sub 20, which, given that I'm struggling to go sub 25 at the minute, does seem ambitious. If you saw that leaderboard earlier though, you will see that I'm capable of sub 22. Probably at one point last year I was capable of sub 21, and I've done an awful lot of training. So the fact that I'm out of shape just now and have suffered from some injuries, I've just recovered from all of that. I'm feeling really strong and good, and I am definitely on course to start going some fast times. I'm going to try and make an assault on this runner here on that downhill. I didn't get past her, and you know what that means. We hit the uphill and she's going to be gone again. Just try and tag along with her. Yeah, so it's Kirkintilloch 12.5k beginning of February. Any of my huge subscriber base want to join me there, they'd be more than welcome to be featured in a video. Because something a bit special happening on the 21st of December. So as you all know, I'm obsessed with beating my brother, and I'm going to get the chance to beat him live and in the flesh. Not only just beat him, but race him at Strathclyde Park, which is a fast race. He reckons he's sub 21 shape, maybe even sub 20 shape, so he should certainly wipe the floor with me. But I will give it the beans and see what I can do. It's probably the next video that I'll be making, so you can tune in next time if you want to see that. As we come back past the 4th kilometre just now though, we come through the 4th kilometre in a time of 4 minutes and 45 seconds, which is bang on where I need to be at this point in the race. Last week at Pollock, that's definitely where I started to fade in the 4th kilometre. I think I was running over 5 minutes a kilometre at that point. At this point in the race, I don't feel bad. I feel tired. Obviously you can hear my breathing's laboured, but I am still doing alright. I'm feeling okay. I feel like I can maintain that pace. I've still got the big hill and all the wind to go, so we'll see how I feel in a minute or two. Now with 800 metres to go, I know that I'm in sight of getting everything that I wanted, but it is just hurting right now. It's a weird thing about running is before you run and after you run, you absolutely love running. Even the first kilometre, 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres, you love running. But in this part here, the bit where you really have to work hard, enthusiasm all goes and you're just surviving.
This is much less fun this time.
That's absolutely backed up by what Stephen's saying there. Hit the bottom of the hill here, and I know that I've got it in the bag though, so although it hurts, there's also a bit of me that feels really great that I'm managing to power up this hill. I probably went up this hill faster than any other time because I'm not trying to conserve energy. I'm not worried about it. I'm just giving it everything that I've got. There's no thinking anymore. There's just pushing as hard and fast as I possibly can. And now I'm on the final downhill on very wobbly legs. Anybody who's run a 5k and pushed it as hard as they can knows a downhill finish can make you feel like a baby giraffe just galloping and trying not to go over. I usually actually manually move my legs, so I'll be thinking left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. As I come down the tarmac there, and I'm now going onto the grass, and you can see the funnel in the distance. I know that I've beat the record at this point. I know that I've gone sub 25. It's just about how low can I go, and I finished in a time of 24 minutes and 20 seconds, which is absolutely fantastic. In those conditions, the fastest time I've done in a while. I'm really, really pleased with how that's finished. I did finish in an overall position of 23rd, which is not the best finish I've ever had, but it's a pretty good one. More importantly, I did take Scott's Tollcross record, so let's look at the new leaderboard. Yay! Except that's not actually the new leaderboard, because in the same week Scott went to Troon and took my Troon record. Famey absolutely smashed it as well. So it's a bit of tit for tat between me and Scott. If only there was a way to decide who's the very best. Oh aye, next week's Strathclyde Parkrun. Me versus Scott, 21st of December. Can't wait to see what happens. If you want to see what happens, you need to tune in next time on Run Steve Run.